Hello, I am Dr. Youngnam Kim, a specialist in internal medicine at the Jaisohn Medical Center. Today I will talk about diet therapy, the most important aspect of diabetes treatment. First of all, when patients are diagnosed with diabetes, many of them fear that they will no longer be able to eat delicious food, and they become disappointed and depressed. However, the important thing in diabetes treatment is eating conscientiously, controlling what you eat and how much you eat. There's no need to worry or stress more excessively about diet than the average person.
What foods should be avoided with diabetes?
First, diabetic patients should eat regularly, at least 6 hours apart, at least 3 times a day. And as much as possible, avoid foods high in carbohydrates, such as sugar, candy, and sugary drinks like Coca-Cola. These simple sugars are rapidly absorbed, raising blood sugar levels. The rate of absorption is called the glycemic index. The glycemic index indicates how quickly a food is absorbed and raises blood sugar levels. For example, if glucose has a glycemic index of 100, which is the fastest absorption rate, then foods with a lower index, ideally around 50, are preferable. For instance, glucose has a glycemic index of 100, bananas and raisins have a glycemic index of 60, and sweet potatoes and oranges have a glycemic index of 40. Therefore, these foods are better choices. Beans, apples, and ice cream have a glycemic index of 30, which is below 50, making them okay. In particular, beans such as black beans, soybeans, and peanuts have a very low glycemic index, often between 10 and 20, making them excellent food choices.
Does body weight affect diabetes?
Another important aspect of diabetic diet therapy is determining your current weight in relation to your ideal weight. You need to determine if you are overweight or at a healthy weight. A simple way to figure out if you are at an ideal weight is to subtract 100 from your height in centimeters and multiply the result by 0.9 to obtain your ideal weight in kilograms. For example, if your height is 170 centimeters, then subtract by 100 and multiply that result by 0.9 to find your calculation. To calculate by feet, here's a calculation method for that. And if your height is in feet, for every 5 feet, you multiply by 100 plus 5 or 6 times the number of inches. For example, if you are 5 feet 7 inches, for women it's 100 plus 5 or 6 times the inches, and for men it's 105 plus 5 or 6 times the number of inches. That's your ideal weight. Therefore, when adjusting your diet, you should aim for your ideal weight, and if you are currently overweight, you shouldn't just focus on calorie counting.